Hello, I'm Doug Evans, and this case study presentation is about the Walkerton Hydroelectric Generating Station, a relic industrial landscape in Ontario, Canada. The early 20th century hydroelectric generating station south of Walkerton on the Saugeen River in Bruce County, Ontario, is an important relic industrial landscape. However, it has never been studied or surveyed and is not on any archaeological register or other form of heritage list, and the concrete structures on the site are deteriorating. This presentation provides a brief history of the site and argues for its protection. The Walkerton Hydroelectric Generating Station was completed in 1911. And visible features of potential heritage value on the site include a dam across the river, a headrace canal, and foundations of the original powerhouse. Other features of potential heritage interest are discernible below water level and in the boggy swamp and overgrown vegetation on the site. The site is located on a bend in the Saugeen River, with the river as its northern and eastern boundary, with private farmland to the west and an unopened road allowance to the south. The geology of the region is glacial deposition, and the immediate site is modern period river alluvium comprised of silt, sand, and pebble and cobble gravel. The landscape is part of the river's riparian corridor, and vegetation is predominantly moisture-loving species, including the large white willow tree. The site is part of a 31-hectare managed forest owned by the Saugeen Valley Conservation Authority. The development of hydroelectric power began in Europe and North America in the late 1870s, and by 1900, hundreds of small hydropower plants were in operation as the emerging technology spread across the world. In 1906, the world's first publicly owned electric utility was created in Ontario, Canada, the Hydroelectric Power Commission of Ontario. Bruce County was not opened for settlement until 1847, and the town of Walkerton was soon after founded in 1851 on the Saugeen River by Joseph Walker. In 1852, Walker erected the first dam across the Saugeen and built the town's first sawmill, followed by a grist mill in 1853, both powered by water. In Walkerton, electricity generation developed much as it did throughout North America, from small private mill to locally owned power company. In 1867, Joseph Walker sold his mills, and by the late 1870s, they were powering a small electricity station. The station was purchased in 1882 by two local businessmen, but demand for electricity in the town soon outstripped the generating capacity of the small mill powerhouse. In 1908, the Walkerton Electric Light and Power Company purchased a property 3 kilometers south of the town and began construction of a new dam across the Saugeen. Construction of the new hydroelectric power station was completed in 1911, and it began operation in 1912. Photos of the construction site, taken in the summer of 1911, look like a town picnic, suggesting the new power plant was quite popular with the community. When completed, the new hydropower station was the largest rural generating station in the region and comprised a 3-meter-high reinforced concrete dam, 220 meters long, a 14-meter-wide headrace canal, over half a kilometer long, and a powerhouse with 2 turbines running 2 generators. In 1928, the station was sold to an American holding and utility company, and a few years later this station was sold on again to the Hydroelectric Power Commission of Ontario. By then, the Walkerton plant was the most financially successful electricity generating plant in the Georgian Bay network. Post-war redevelopment brought great expansion of much larger hydroelectric generating stations, and by 1960 the Walkerton station had fallen into disuse. In 1963, the station was decommissioned and the entire site, including the dam, was sold for $1,000 to the Saugeen Valley Conservation Authority. Prior to selling, the Power Commission removed the stop logs from the dam's flume and blocked up the headrace canal with an earth plug. The powerhouse was eventually demolished, leaving only the foundations. Currently, the dam, headrace canal, and other historic features are suffering from demolition by neglect. I believe the Walkerton Hydroelectric Power Station site is a cultural industrial landscape worthy of protection for its cultural heritage value. However, more research is needed to confirm this. The research should take a lead from UNESCO principles which define cultural landscapes as falling into three main categories: designed, evolved, and associative. Recent research by Ian Stewart on identifying industrial landscapes helps to show how the Walkerton hydropower site can be identified as a cultural industrial landscape. Firstly, the site is a designed landscape with features including the dam and headrace canal. Secondly, it is an evolved relic landscape where the industrial and socio-economic activities of generating hydroelectric power have come to an end. And thirdly, it is an associative cultural landscape where the landscape is important due to the powerful associations the site has with natural elements and with the development of hydroelectric power generation in Ontario. These cultural landscape categorizations can help to inform the much-needed research, which should include physical and archaeological investigations to record the site's designed features, condition surveys to assess the degree of surviving historic integrity, particularly the extent to which man-made features have deteriorated, ecological surveys to show how the site has evolved, particularly how natural vegetation has reclaimed the site, the development of hydroelectric power in Ontario and at the site, and historic and contemporary social and cultural associations between the hydro dam, the Saugeen River, and the region. Once this research has progressed sufficiently, it can be used to make a case for formal heritage designation to strengthen the legal protection of the site. Thank you.